Good evening, I'm William Pace. Thanks so much for tuning us in tonight. Tonight my guests are Commissioner Boostsie Neal and Patti Niles from Life Connection of Ohio. To write to the William Pace Show, write to P.O. Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio 45401. If your letter is chosen to be on the show, you'll receive a gift from the William Pace Show. That is P.O. Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio 45401. We'll be back in a moment with Commissioner Boostsie Neal.
To write to the William Pace Show, write to Post Office Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio 45401. If your letter is chosen to be read on the air, you'll receive a gift from the William Pace Show.
Our special guest tonight is Commissioner Boostsie Neal. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
Hi, William. How are you?
Good to see you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Good to see you. You won the race. Was it a difficult race?
It was a challenging race. We certainly had our challenges before us, and as with any campaign, you have to do a lot of work, knocking on doors, getting your message out, and I want to certainly thank the entire Dayton community for their support, and the election is behind us, and we've got to move forward, but thanks for your congratulations, and it was challenging.
You know, I noticed the front page ad article when you won the race, you know, and it had a picture of you and your daughter there. It just took my heart away, you know.
Oh, absolutely. We had just gotten out of the car and had arrived at the downtown campaign headquarters after having been in the field all day with the Get Out the Vote effort, and they were just there at that very moment, and that's a picture that I'll treasure for the rest of my life because it was a unplanned, unposed picture. It was
a moment
real.
in time.
Yes.
A moment in time. You know, one of my big interests is the historic neighborhoods. Tell me what's going on with the neighborhoods, historic neighborhoods.
Well, we have 7 historic neighborhoods in the city of Dayton, and certainly individuals are making investment in rehabbing houses and attempting to bring the houses back to their original state. I think that that's one of the unique aspects about the city of Dayton is that we have such a diverse housing stock, and that we have housing that can suit everyone's taste and interest, and certainly a number of citizens are working real hard to rehab their property and making a substantial investment in revitalizing the neighborhoods. So it's real exciting.
Are there certain incentives for people to buy historic homes?
Well, I think the major incentive is that you're getting a treasure, a historic treasure, for usually a very nominal cost, because many of those houses have been abandoned or the use of that house has changed over the number of years, and to bring them back, some of them have become multi-family dwellings, and now they're bringing them back to single-family dwellings, as well as the wood that's in it. I have a friend that's in the process of rehabbing a house, and it's absolutely fabulous, and really doing it at a very nominal fee. It's a long project. Generally, it's a family project where many individuals are working together and doing it in their spare time. But you're seeing a lot more improvement as the time goes on.
What are the plans for the West 3rd Street, James McGee Boulevard, Paul Laurence Dunbar area? What are the future plans for that?
That's a very exciting project, and what you're going to actually see there is a number of different activities. We're going to be rehabbing vacant lots, vacant abandoned structures. We're going to be rehabbing building new construction, market rate housing, and rehabbing owner-occupied structures, and that's part of the national park. So you have a major housing initiative that's taking place, as well as a rehab project that's taking place in the national park itself. And then not far from there, right on the gateway into the Wright Dunbar Village, you're going to see the International Women's Aviation Hall of Fame, and you're also going to see the National Afro-American Museum satellite branch, and we're also going to have Friendship Park and Oak and Ivory Park, and there's a substantial rehab taking place to the Paul Laurence Dunbar House. So it's just an exciting project, and we suspect that there will also be a revitalization of the commercial district along West 3rd Street as well. So that portion of the city is undergoing major rehab. It's exciting, and we're going to have a ribbon cutting in 1996.
So by then, when do they expect all the work to be completely done?
Well, this is really a 2, 3, 4-year project, but you're going to see a substantial impact in the project in the spring. As soon as the weather is stabilized, that's going to be the start of the construction period, and hopefully in the fall, early fall, we'll be able to have the ribbon cutting and be able to showcase the houses that will be rehabbed and or built in that area.
Now, you know, there's been a rise to the suburbs. So many people have been moving out of the city. Do you think with all these new projects going on and building new homes in the city that more and more people are going to be wanting to come back into the city?
Oh, absolutely.
Into the city?
And as I said earlier, I think that that's one of the gems of Dayton is our diverse housing stock. And as individuals are looking at where they want to raise their family and the environment they want to raise their family, I truly believe people are moving back into the city. We have a number of major projects, Forest Ridge, Quail Hollow, now Kittredge Road project, which is market rate housing. We have the New England Estates, and just a couple of weeks ago, we also passed the ordinance for approved the ordinance for the Nehemiah project. And then certainly last year we had the successful Huffman Rehoborama, and the year before McPherson Rehoborama. So with all of the housing initiatives going on, I really believe that over the years you're going to see that trend to reverse itself, and people will move back into the city because of the diverse cultural experience that we have. It's great.
It really is. You know, recently I was watching a City Hall meeting on television, and I noticed that there seemed to be a lot of turmoil. And what's the great sense of turmoil in people coming to some of these meetings?
Well, individuals are certainly welcome to come to the City Commission meeting to express their opinion about a particular issue, problem, share their ideas on what it is that we believe we need to be doing as elected officials. And sometimes that's where individuals are coming to agree with you. Other times they're coming to disagree with you. It can be very controversial. I think it's what we need to focus on is maintaining accessibility to the commission, because we do want to hear from our citizens. And as you know, we're all very strong supporters of citizens' participation. But the real issue here is the level of respect that has to be extended both ways. Even though we, in fact, may be elected officials, we're human beings as well. And I think that it's a way in which you express that concern is that should be done in the most respectful manner, so that our focus can be on really dealing with the challenges and the issues that we have in our community, and not the personality rifts, and so that we can move forward. So I think that we believe that accessibility is important, but we also want it to be a two-way street as it relates to respect and dealing with issues and not making personal attacks.
Right. There's a way to say anything. It's how you go about it, you know. How you go about it. What are some of the new projects that you'll be working on this year at City Hall?
Well, I don't know if they're new projects or continuing projects, so that we can see, because one of the things that I've certainly learned in the City of Dayton process is that the planning process, because we have so many different elements that we must deal with, takes 2 or 3 years. So right Dunbar Village, which we've already talked about, certainly the Salem and Grand project is another that we want to see underway, and hopefully we'll go to a ribbon cutting this year as well. Continuing to build the capacity of the neighborhood development corporations, who have made a significant contribution to the rehab and redevelopment of our neighborhoods, as well as the impact on the business districts. The Town Centers program is another exciting program that I'm really committed to, because what happens with those small businesses that we are maintained in the neighborhood, hire from the neighborhood, providing employment opportunities. And I think that the combination of not only the neighborhood plans and projects, but also rebuilding the commercial business districts within the neighborhood are very, very important. So the Teen Center is another project that I've been working on for a number of years, and I'm certainly very confident that that will come to closure this year, allowing some additional structured activities focused on our older team.
Sounds like a lot's going on.
Oh, there's a lot of positive projects going on. And if there was a frustrating part of the job, I think that would be the one part where people don't realize all of the jewels and the gems that we actually have in our city. And we have so many people working real hard, not just the elected officials or the staff, but the volunteers that I've been able to encounter that actually contribute countless hours to various organizations attempting to improve the quality of life and deal with situations. And just right here in this station, many of these individuals are volunteers, and they're faithfully are committed to making sure that information is shared with the community. So there's a lot of good things happening here, exciting projects going on.
I want to talk a little bit about CSU and about the work at Central State that you're doing. Want to tell us about that?
That's the professional side of my job. I'm the Associate Director at Central State University West, which is located here in the city of Dayton at the Roosevelt Center. The program at Central State West is primarily focused on the adult learner, those individuals who are returning to school after having been out for a number of years. So many of our students have been out 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 years. We've had parents to graduate with their children. Certainly Central State is going through a transition. I believe that with the financial reorganization that we're going to become a stronger institution. I think that there's certainly a very important role that we will continue to play in the education of individuals from the Miami Valley and the state of Ohio. And I certainly believe in that mission. It's going to be really important that we, in fact, raise the money, and a number of exciting activities have already taken place. A couple of weeks ago, the Radiothon, and then we had the kickoff, and a number of the teachers from the Board of Education that are graduates of Central State University had a fundraiser coming up. There's a jazz concert that will be held and featuring some of the local artists from the Dayton area. So a combination of those activities hopefully will help us to obtain the local goal here in the Dayton area of $200,000. But it's not just happening here in Dayton, it's happening across the state of Ohio as well as across the United States, where alumni are coming together and making contributions to help with the financial situation at Central State University.
So the future at CSU looks bright.
I'm very optimistic, and I certainly believe that it's very bright, and that we just have to continue to work hard. We have to rise up to the challenge, which is not uncommon for historically black institutions. We certainly had the devastation of the 1974 tornado, and we were able to rebound, and there's no question. There's no doubt in my mind that once again the community is going to rally, as well as the support of our legislators, to assure that we continue the legacy of Central State University and its important role in the educational preparation of young people as well as adults.
Great. I want to talk a little bit about you being a single parent and being a city commissioner and working full-time for CSU. Do you ever feel like sometimes that it's hard to juggle everything?
Oh, absolutely.
Time at home with your daughter,
absolutely.
Time at CSU, city commission. Do you ever feel that maybe you need another Boostsie, Neal?
Oh, I tell you, sometimes I was saying, can you clone me? It is a challenge. It's a real challenge. Sometimes, in fact, overwhelming, but certainly still very, very rewarding. And I'm fortunate. I have a very understanding daughter. She's an 8th grader at Stivers this year, and we work together. And I think it's not so much the time that you spend together, but what it is that when you are together and what you're doing, the quality of the time. And I'm fortunate to have a very strong support system. So Erica's needs are not being unmet in any situation at all. Certainly she's going through the transition of being a teenager, which would not matter if I was a commissioner or a working parent or not. That's just part of that whole development that has to occur. But yes, it is demanding, and we have to be very organized. We have to plan our time, plan in advance, but we still have good quality family experiences, and she is a top priority, a major priority, and she's my motivator for me staying involved in the political process and trying to make this a better community, as well as in the educational field, and hoping to help individuals prepare and move on with their careers, and it's all to make it a better place for Erica as well as our other future leaders of our community.
Great. Lastly, I want to ask you, I've been asking some of my guests to make a sort of a New Year's goal, New Year's resolution. What would you like to see accomplished this year? in the city?
I would like to, in fact, see us accomplish completion of the housing initiatives. I would hope and pray that there's a decrease in the violence within our community, particularly among our citizens who can't protect themselves, and that's our innocent children. I would hope that our community would rally around children and families and recognize that together we can make a difference and remain optimistic. I would hope and pray that the City Commission leadership will be able to deal with the tough challenges, work together as a team, move forward, set the example, and deal with the issues that will make this a better community for everybody.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on the show
thank
tonight.
you, Leah. I
know you're busy and have 1,000 things to do, but I sure appreciate you taking the time to come.
Thank you, and good luck with all of your wonderful efforts, and congratulations to you for everything that you're doing and the contributions you're making in our community as well.
Bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's more to come. Stay with us.
Write to the William Pace Show. Write to Post Office Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio 45401. If your letter is chosen to be read on the air, you'll receive a gift from the William Pace Show.
Thanks for tuning us in. My guest this evening is Patti Niles from Life Connection of Ohio. Thanks for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you, William. I appreciate the invitation.
Tell us a little bit about your work.
My title is Procurement Transplant Coordinator. I'm also a registered nurse, and my job responsibilities include educational opportunities such as this. We're responsible for educating the professional community, physicians, nurses, hospital personnel, on topics of organ donation. I'm also on a 24-hour call duty that in case a hospital notifies us that a family is interested in organ donation, I come in and I talk to the families to find out what their wishes are and to tell them a little bit more about their options and kind of counsel them and help them make the right decision, because sometimes they're undecided and it's a tough time to make that decision. So I talk with them, and then I arrange the organ recovery. I arrange teams that are going to be coming in, the actual surgical process, and then I actually go with the donor to surgery. And then we do a lot of follow-up. We do a lot of follow-up for the family. We find out a little bit about the recipients that I'm responsible for kind of matching together with the donor. So I do some follow-up with the family to let them know a little bit about the recipients, to help them kind of feel a little bit that something good came out of the tragedy.
Who meets the criteria to be an organ donor?
The biggest criteria is those who have sustained a brain injury which evolves into brain death. That is the largest criteria. Certainly there's other criteria, but that's the largest one. A lot of people think that if I'm in a car accident, I automatically become an organ donor, but there's actually only 10 to 15,000 people in this country per year that can even be an organ donor. So it's a very small group of individuals, and they have to sustain brain death. That's the largest criteria that we're looking at.
How can we confirm brain death?
Brain death, first of all, let me reassure you, brain death is death. And it would be similar to any other death except they're on a ventilator, so that the lungs are continued to be oxygenated, which oxygenates the entire body, so the heart keeps beating. So without the ventilator, this person would really look like any other person who is dead, but it's kind of masked by the ventilator. Those individuals who sustain brain death are those who have had any kind of brain injury, whether it be external or internal. Internal, I mean like strokes, massive strokes, maybe an aneurysm that's burst, those kinds of internal injuries. And an external injury would be someone who sustained any kind of injury to the head, maybe through a ball bat, an auto accident, a motorcycle accident, those type of injuries. And with brain death, the swelling occurs so much so that it cuts off its own blood supply. If you hurt your arm, if you get your arm hurt, it swells. The same thing happens with the brain, but there's no place for the swelling to go because the brain's in an enclosed capsule. Got some pictures to kind of help that. This kind of shows you a little bit about the anatomy of the brain, that it is in an enclosed capsule. This is the most important part of the brain. That's the brain stem. That's the part of the brain that's responsible for breathing, your heart rate control, blood pressure control, those things that are obviously vital for life. With any kind of brain injury, we have swelling that occurs. And you can see there's no place for the swelling to go but down where the brain stem is. And it kind of cuts off, at this point, it kind of cuts off its own blood supply. This is kind of a cross-section of a blood vessel. And this is a normal one where blood is able to go through. And you can see with any kind of swelling that occurs outside the blood vessel, it kind of cuts off its own blood supply so that no blood flow actually goes to the brain whatsoever. If you've ever known anyone who sustained any kind of gangrene, maybe to a limb, that's a similar type of injury. There's no blood flow to that leg, and it dies. The same thing happens with the brain. It dies.
So if the blood is cut off to the brain, okay, then those organs cannot be used then?
Those organs can be used.
They can be used
because
then.
the rest of the body is still oxygenated and perfused. They're still on a ventilator, so oxygen is still going through the body and the heart's still beating. Now, if the ventilator were removed, this person would not breathe. They're only breathing and the heart's only beating because of this machine.
So it's only the brain death organs that can be used,
right?
And
because blood is still flowing to the organs and the organs are still viable. So anyone who sustained a normal cardiac death, maybe through a heart attack or a normal type of death, their organs would not be perfused, so they wouldn't be viable for transplantation.
Okay. Say if, for example, if someone would like to donate some of their organs, then how would they go about doing that?
The best thing I can tell you is to talk to your family.
Okay.
I know at the license bureaus, they do ask you that question. And that's really an opportunity to get you to think about what you want. It is a legal document. There's a card that accompanies it that has 2 witnesses for signature. And it's a legal document. However, hospitals require a family signature. The next of kin has to sign. So the license kind of serves as maybe an indicator to the family if maybe someone would have wanted. So the best thing you can do is tell your family because they're still going to have to make that decision for you. And it's a terrible time. The time of death is really not a time for families to have to second guess what somebody else would have wanted. I mean, they're going through a lot of turmoil. So it's nice for the family to know ahead of time what someone would have wanted.
So this is something that should be planned out then?
Right.
Okay.
A lot of people ask us, well, should I put it in my will? Well, if you put it in your will, obviously the will's not read for weeks down the road. So the best thing I can tell you is to talk to your family about that.
Great. Thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you, William.
Appreciate it. There's more to come. Stay with us.
Write to the William Pace Show. Write to Post Office Box 3644, Dayton, Ohio 45401. If your letter is chosen to be read on the air, you'll receive a gift from the William Pace Show.
Gotta go. Take care. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.